in my experience with leadership, in a very simple, easy to understand model, I've discovered there's 3 stages. The first stage of leadership is the sense of power over others. This is the classic power trip. This is the classic megalomania at its worst. It's power over others, telling people what to do, putting yourself in a superiority position, demanding, pushing, bullying in its extremes. But also in our infrastructures, in our businesses, we have this very much installed in the way things are through the hierarchy of our business structures. So inherently it's there. And so either we enlighten this perspective within ourselves, or we're going to default into the natural human base instincts of operating from that state of being. So the first stage sense of leadership is coming from the human ego, not necessarily our enlightened aspects of being. The second stage of leadership is a sharing form of leadership, a more evolved leadership. It's now seeing the equality, the value, the virtue, the possibilities, the capacities in our teams. And this is a very valuable phase to move from, and to move from this egoic trying to demand and pull more percentage of productivity from our teams, because that relegates them to units of chattel. And people are not chattel. People are people. And in this day and age, it's embracing that people are our highest attributes. How can this not be obvious? How can this not be the most obvious thing in the world? But it is. Its businesses are built by the interaction and the relationship of people. And the more healthier they feel, the more joyful they feel, the more positive they feel, the more they feel connected to purpose and meaning and something of goodness, the more they're drawn into and happy to join in the collective success of a company. So our job in the second stage is to move from this egoic state and move ourselves into finding the win-win, looking and seeing and honoring the attributes in our teams. Now, there is another stage that I feel some companies are ready for. In fact, that we all should be moving towards, and some of us who are courageous, I'm going to invite you to really ponder bringing this philosophy into your spaces, especially if you do have that natural win-win philosophy in your mindset already. And that is recognizing that we are here for a greater whole, beyond what we can even imagine. Our vision and our mission is something even beyond what we can imagine right now. So third stage leadership is learning to set down the imprints, the traditional ways in which we map out success in our organizations, the traditional models we use, and to sit and go into a quietude, a place of silent power, to connect with the simplicity, the spaciousness of nature itself, to slow down our rhythms, to come back into the rhythms of the spirit of life, come back to the spirit of the rhythms of natural life, imbibe and infuse ourselves with the sacredness of nature, and allow from the space of quietude and replenishment and joy a leadership that yearns to be birthed in the world, something that you are also following as a leader, something that's moving you far greater than numbers and ROI and all the traditional models, but something that's stirring your soul. And trust me, when you're willing to surrender and claim and own and foster and give life force, your own precious life force, and care for this sacred flame of this delicate nature of leadership, it'll grow you. It'll make your spine stronger over the years. Your resoluteness and your courage will grow, but it won't be this gregarious external form. It'll be this silent form that garners and calls upon trust, that people wish to offer you their trust and their conviction and their hard-earned labor, and offer it towards the direction that you give them and the inspiration and the visions you weave. Why? Because third stage power is coming from the soul. I believe that each business, each organization has a soul, truly a soul that is here to bring and fulfill something for the greater good, including all our teams and ourselves. And all it takes is the willingness to search and to open that deeply for what that possibly could be, to be the beginning of the birth to true transcendent leadership that awakens the warrior within you and brings out the greatest wisdom, the sage within you.